that you will not get the benefit of plus minus 5%.
Sir, पता नहीं चलता है उसको. Sir, the problem is like this. When a person is doing his business, at that point of time he is into 500 different commodities. इसमें there is always a possibility कि आज मैं यही के पास से एक प्राइस में सप्लाई ले रहा हूँ. मेरे पास कुछ शॉर्टफॉल है तो मैंने किसी और सप्लायर से भी मान लिया. There is always a possibility. So there are 95% cases where the price is in the favor. One should really either look at an average so that the SEC at least gets some breather.
What is the trying to say is just don't look at the revenue also only. Look at the SEC as well. What you said in the beginning that we are judges.
No, I am trying to understand his perspective. See how the law has tried to tackle this situation. That is one thing that we have to see. The law has tried to tackle this situation by giving a plus minus 5% back. That is one thing. Now it has become 3%. Now the work of the consultant comes here. On many occasions, I see consultants who dig into data and they give you data. So on this day, the SSE has done the transaction at this price. But there are so many other prices also. If you take average of these prices, one day price, then the price that is coming is this. We accept it. Sometimes the consultants are so hardworking that they try to even give you weighted average of that day. And they say, sir, please don't take the day high or day low and compare my prices with the day high and make adjustments. We find these arguments very logical and valid. One. Two, supposing the TPO does not give you benefit, please ensure that your arguments have come in your submission. Even if the TPO is not willing or he doesn't have time to record your arguments in the order when he is making adjustment. You have given your submission, it is part of your submission. So when you go to CIT appeal or DRP, you can always say that, sir, we have taken this ground before the TPO. This is there. So this happens, especially in some bank transactions, because the transactions are numerous. There comes a situation where one price, which is the day high price, is beyond the 5% limit. But we do give average, we try to take average and give that benefit. But even if not giving, you take that chance. Now problem that comes is because intraday variation is not a problem. The problem is coming in annual variations. I'll give you an example which is more apt to the situation that you are trying to portray. There is an export and the receivables have been received late. So I calculate for each and every invoice the delay. You say that, sir, out of the 365 days and 180 invoices, you have calculated delay on 64. But on 116 invoices where I have received before time, you are not giving me any credit. This, I believe, is a more this again, I always advise the consultants appearing before me that you please place the Excel sheet where this is also shown. I have limited discretion. I have constraints. I may not be able to agree, even though I may agree with you, may not be able to agree on paper. Let it be there. Maybe DRP, if not DRP, maybe ITAT will judge the issue. Now coming back to the original thing, that a tax administration has to be necessarily governed by justice. It is for this reason that the tax department has internal appellate system. If you look at data, majority of the orders passed by the AOs or TPOs, let us keep TP for outside, by the AOs are not confirmed by CAT appeals. And again, majority of the orders passed confirmed by CAT appeals are not confirmed by the tribunals. The tribunal is again external body. It does not mean that tribunal is corrupt and they have taken money to give justice to the taxpayer. I have worked in the tribunal for 3 years, and I would say that by and large, tribunal gives fair deal. It gives fair deal. Therefore, it is important at your level, at the beginning, junior level, that your arguments are placed. What will happen if your arguments are not there in the submission? वो set aside कर देगा. फिर वो पूरा painful process आपको. You again have to appear before the court and all these things. There can be gaps between understanding. You and I may not agree on so many things. Please ensure it is there in your submission. You have taken a ground on that. Officer बोलता है नहीं लिखेंगे, ठीक है चलेगा. Somewhere you will get the justice.
Sir, I have one small question. So you said chapter 10 is a charging or a machinery charge? What did you say?
It is charging as well as machinery. क्योंकि charging दिया और machinery नहीं दिया, तो भी नहीं चलेगा.
It's a code in itself. That is
It's a complete code.
So this is my. I just want you to think about it. Academic.
Yes.
So there are 2-3 perspectives. I'll just try and give it to you. One is that if there is a transaction, and I'm considering the word transaction extremely wide, not reflective of income or expenditure, any transaction. And if that transaction is not at arm's length. So when you say a transaction is not at arm's length, so for example, let's say that an Indian parent purchases land from its subsidiary in the US at a not at arm's length transaction. Land is not depreciable under our Indian income tax. So when it purchases land, it has a permanent establishment outside India. Now this type of a transaction, how does it come within the precincts of the Income Tax Act? So suppose I purchased land for $100 where the fair valuation is $20. So it could be 20 million, 20 billion. It's a difference in unit. Does chapter 10 wordings allow you to see this transaction in the light of an adjustment to your total income?
It's a very good
Situation. And we deal with these kind of situations. We indeed have transactions which are similar to this. And it is in order to deal with such situations only that we have to understand and explain chapter 10 as a code to deal with variance in A. If there is an LP, and if there is a transfer price, and if there is a difference, we have to deal with the difference. How do we deal with the difference? Different countries are dealing with them differently. What happens here in this case, this is a case of land. There can be a case of machinery. There can be a case of shares. That accumulated profits fly from India at the click of a mouse. It is so simple these days. So balance sheet transactions are very dangerous.
Sure.
Now you will ask me how under the existing act I will do it.
Okay.
I will ask you what under the existing act and chapter 10 stops me from doing this. People say that section 92(1), it says that any income arising out of international transaction, blah blah blah. Now, I say, okay, read it. Where does this debar? It says that if there is an income arising from an international transaction, that income has to be computed with respect to arm's length principles, etc. I am not going into that. I am saying the transaction should have been done at $20, it has been done at $100. This is the variation. And I am leaving, in India we have a system where we are leaving tax on variation. And we are giving you, also again as part of tradition, that we are giving you the benefit of clubbing this variation with existing income. Again, there is no section in the act that whatever variation you have computed, you club it with the existing income. ये होता आया है, हम लोग देखते आए, वैसा करते आए, कभी किसी ने पूछा नहीं. अभी जब बड़ा एडजस्टमेंट हो गया तो पीपल हैव स्टार्टेड क्वेश्चनिंग. कई छोटे लोग हैं जिनका एडजस्टमेंट हुआ है. यस. But income of which person? That is why I said initially, when you are into chapter 10, forget about income. Even in Income Tax Act, forget about income. Remember ability to pay, because some people, even though they have income, we do not tax them. Some people we tax at lesser rates, some people we tax at higher rates. Now in this situation, who is gaining? The A is gaining. And who is losing? The Indian company is losing. How the Indian company is losing? Indian company is not having, Indian company is not making any income. There is no question that you make income and then I will levy tax. That is income tax. Here, the accumulated profits of this company, which it has done over the years, doing business in India, that is being transferred. That is why I said it, one click of the mouse, so much money has gone. There is a bucket and there is a tap in my bathroom. So but from the tap there is water coming. This is something like income coming every day. I have accumulated over 4 hours 3 buckets of water. Maybe not in this year, in earlier assessment years. All that 3 or 4 bucket of water has gone in this transaction.
So that is tax paid. That accumulated profit is already tax paid.
Yes. Then what is happening? Good question. It is tax paid.
The amount is very low.
No, I'll come. That is a separate thing. Whether it amounts to giving loan or not. That is the masonry part. What is happening? There is a tax base erosion. This money, supposing this difference between $100 and $20 was $3 billion. If this $3 billion has remained in this country, this would have been a different scenario. See, this money which has remained in this country is after dividend repatriation. whatever was the rightful due that A has already taken, in spite of that there is $3 billion. So you find a way, you send it. Otherwise you could have remained here. Now tax erosion, tax-based erosion is a very strong concept in transfer pricing. Now recently there is a paper also on base erosion and profit setting. Now in every country of where transfer pricing is there, this base is a very, very important concept. We have to protect our tax base. If this transaction were not there, had this company been in a position to send this money out? Is it not ethical? So this situation has to be tackled, and transfer pricing allows you to tackle it. We all know. See, what happens is that we can look at it this way. Okay, एक ये रूल है, ये पैसा भेजना है, कोई एक नॉवेल आइडिया निकालो, उसको भेज दो, वो एक अलग तरीका है. But that is not the तरीका that I am preaching here, and that is not the way by which most of the big consultants of every city has become big. They have always, I have seen that in the big people of every town, the element of honesty is also more than most of the people. If you find that this is unusual, then put it to the test of ethics. And then you look into your textbook, what can be done. तो इनकम वो क्या होता है, इनकम का कंसेप्ट, ये फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस का पूरा, इट्स entirely a game of frame of reference. When we are into income tax and we come to transfer price, we have a hangover of income. We examine transfer pricing chapter with the hangover of income when we are in a train and the train is moving. Then if you look outside, immediate things will be moving very fast. You feel as if you are static. And the things at distance, at infinity, they look static. These are different frame of references merging and causing illusion. We are trying to deal with chapter 10 with the illusion of income. Actually speaking, even in a classical transfer price or international transaction, there is no real income. Supposing there is a purchase transaction or sale transaction and actually some nuisance has taken place, some variance has been parked out. But then the Indian company has sent the benefit abroad. Indian company has not earned. Supposing we have purchased, the Indian company has purchased something from the Spanish A and paid more than market price. Where is the income to the Indian company in this? On the contrary, Indian company stands to lose and the Spanish company stands to gain. Nonetheless, we say that this is the variance, and we are very liberal in the sense that we are allowing you that, okay, we will let you club this variance with your existing income, which may be losses also, and eventually you will not pay any tax. So we are saying that, see, we will not let you do this variance, and we say this is the adjustment. Now what is this? Is it a real income? It is a no, if at all. If at all we assume that this is income, first of all we should not assume this as an income. We should straight away say that this is variance. This variance will be adjusted with the existing income and taxed. Assuming it is income, then this is a notional income. Another thing, everywhere in income tax, we try not to tax notional income. And we also try not to double tax it. But knowing fully well that this is, if at all it is an income, it is notional income. And this is leading to double taxation. Because although in the first place the Indian company suffers, it has suffered loss of income. We are treating it as income and we are taxing it. And there, so what is happening? Notional income plus double taxation. But why do we do it? because we are dealing in a very, very different frame of reference. When we give wrong terminology, then there is bound to be import of the hangover of income. We should have called it variance, tax on variance. Income बता करके सब गड़बड़ कर दिया है. Okay, thank you very much. I have to rush somewhere. Otherwise, I would have loved to spend some more time with you. Maybe some other occasion.
Well, friends, before coming to the pleasant task of vote of thanks, announcement. Tomorrow, breakfast will be served at 9:30 and we will start the session at 10 a.m. The topics to be covered are customs and tax conversions, transfer pricing 10A, 10B. Then BEPS, GAR and TP, how do they work? And after lunch and after tea also, there will be a panel discussion where the panelists are Mr. C.S. Gulati, CIT, and Mr. Rohan Fatafekar. Moderator is Mr. Vispi Patel. Now coming to the pleasant task of formal vote of thanks. Vispi, President Yati, and friends. Frankly speaking, sir, first 40 to 45 minutes I was just mesmerized by the talk. Because we had taken the relation between the department and the profession at an entirely different level and given a new dimension by itself. And that speaks of how you attend your professional who approach you. Purpose of inviting from the department is to strengthen the relations between the department and the professionals. And if any shortcomings are there, there has to be bridged. Sir, we are thankful to you for sparing your valuable time and speaking frankly to the friends over here, and from Chamber's side of you and from all of us present here, I got a very hearty vote of thanks to you and request all of you to carry on.
It was a pleasure, and whenever you feel that there is something on which there is an existing view, I would request to pause and think whether that existing view has to be accepted or to be reexamined.